Hold on. What are these? This is like the cranberries, mate. Pause the cranberries. Welcome. Excuse the poor attire. I'm still in my dressing gown. It's 11:38 on a Friday and I'm still in my dressing gown. This is not ideal, is it? Not a great look for me. But anyway, this is the start of an adventure. I'm going on a trip this weekend. I'm going away for like 5 days. Gonna probably do like, I don't know, 500 to 700 miles on the road, maybe more. Got an away game tomorrow in Prem. And then a camp Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. In between those two, I've kind of got a day to myself. I'm going to go adventuring a part of the country I've never been to before, just on my ones on a mad side quest. I'm just done loads of packing. I should have filmed it. To be fair, I should have filmed the packing when I had loads of shit all over the bed, but this is what we're currently looking at, right? So many sports clothes, so many sports socks, and there's a lot, man. It's heavy. There's so much packing. And then you've got this bag, which will be recovery stuff for camp, and then this bag, which will be training tonight and the game tomorrow with shower stuff and like my Prem kit and that. I still need to shower, but I don't have to leave till like 12:30, so I do have time. But yeah, I'm giving you a brief lowdown on what's going on, but I'm not going to give you more information. I'm just going to show you, and we're just going to go and take on the world. I look forward to this kind of stuff, man. I love it that this is a part of my life. Where shall I sit? Lighting wise, I'll sit here. I love that, like, I don't know, I get to travel about and stuff for what I do, and just the odd random weekend I go visit different towns in the country and just find different coffee shops and get to play high level sport, man. It's exciting. From a sort of productivity perspective, it's not good, but hopefully Sunday I can get a bit of cognitive work in and just make the most of it. So right, hello everyone. Why does it look like I have curtains? I don't know why my hair just does this after I've had a shower and it just sort of flops in its own position, but we'll roll with it. You've got a tired, lethargic Joel reporting live from the motorway. This is the A1M South. Just driving back from a game that I had in Durham. Sort of beginning of this couple-day adventure away from London. I thought I'd debrief the game a little bit. I'll show some clips on screen if I can recover the recording of the game. I feel like they did live stream it, but I looked on YouTube, it's just not there, but I feel like it will get uploaded at some point. We won, which is positive. You know, we won by 28 points. I think it ended 30-58, which is good from a defensive perspective to keep the team to 30 points in 40 minutes. I mean, you take that. 58, I mean, maybe you could argue that we should be scoring more than that. But hey, you know, we go away from home. The majority of us had like 5 hour plus journeys, either this morning or over last night and this morning. So to just come and get the job done is good. Personally, I started the game, which was good for my confidence, and I had a really good first like 17 minutes before I went onto the bench. And then when I came on again in the last quarter, it was a bit dodgy. I think I charged on 2 offensive fouls quite close together. And just need to stop. I just have better chair control and transition when I have the ball, because I just get a bit frazzled on the ball. Just shit myself a little bit, you know what I mean? Just not used to it. Not used to being the ball carrier. Sometimes I do have to do that. So yeah, that's a little bit things to think about for training going forward. But generally, you know, good. I was a big part of the offensive movements of the team and set good screens, held my picks well, made shots inside through contact, hit my free throws. You know, it's interesting, isn't it, right? Because I drive away now, I mean, it's really great. I think I filmed a little B-roll clip just to show you, like, I literally can barely see anything around me. I know there's countryside around, but all I see is tarmac and a couple of these other individuals driving around me. So I'm just in a bit of a like flat mood after the game. And it's like, I just question myself and go, God, Joel, what do you need to feel really good after a win? Do you need to score 30 points, really? Sometimes, you know, you go away from home, you play 20, 25 minutes, you score 15 points, you win the game, and you should be happy with that. You know, you don't have to be Michael Jordan all the time, man. You can just be you. This is what you do. And I was kind of thinking while doing this long drive that this is the reality of like being an athlete that maybe other people don't consider. You know, they think about the regular training and the game days, and the pressure and the reasonably free lifestyle and stuff. But now I'm just staring at tarmac for many hours. I've got an hour and 47 minutes before I get to my Premier Inn. And then I need to get dinner on my own somewhere. I don't know if I'll just get Nando's ordered into my hotel. That could work. But yeah, I'll put some tunes on and just try and zone out and get there, and I'll pick up new people this evening. Oh my days. Time to eat some shit food. Got Chris Luno mix on right now, but let's actually pause him. I'm gonna watch film. This isn't good for my soul, let's be honest. These calories are not good for my being. But it's been a game day. One of my ones in a hotel room. Sometimes it's just the adequate decision to make is to eat shit food, right? And then I'm going to plan my day for tomorrow. I think, right, what I might do is get up reasonably early, right? Because it's only like 7:15 right now. I can eat with a film and have a like steaming hot shower and be in bed by like 10. Then get up at like 7:30 and actually work in my hotel room using the caffeine they've provided with the kettle and that. And then go to breakfast here and just like work here until I check out late and then go like on some nature adventure. I think that's the plan. Do some like cognitive shit here, get some like work done, then head out. But anyway, I'm gonna eat this delectable array of calories and I might catch it a bit. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later, who knows. Good morning. Specifically, good morning to a car park in Macclesfield. Did I get up so that I could do work at the hotel room before breakfast? No. Did I have a good sleep though? Yes. It's about, I don't know, 20 to 9. Gonna get myself up, get some breakfast, and make a plan for the day, man. Plan the quests, and yeah, I feel rested, man. I feel good. I feel satisfied in life. Okay, so I've had my Premier Inn breakfast. It was very pleasant. It's currently 11:15, and now I'm on the road heading to a small village, I believe, or I think it's a town called Buxton. Don't know if it's related to the water company. Maybe I'll ask a local about that. Apparently it's one of the highest in terms of distance from sea level towns in the UK or England, something like that. So I'm hoping I get some sick like views somewhere. There's like a tower place nearby that I'm gonna go and visit as well. And it's about a half an hour drive, which is pretty standard and good. And then I'll go on to Nottingham from there for camp. But what have I been thinking about this morning? A couple of things. Let's talk about them, shall we? So I journaled this morning just before breakfast when I had a bit of extra time in my hotel room, and I was thinking about initially actually reflecting upon yesterday's game and how the reason I feel it went well is because my mindset going into it was that I wanted to focus on the fundamentals. In a basketball context, this is what I call the donkey work, right? The stuff that's not too glamorous but just needs to be done in order for the team to do what we need to do to score and to win the game, right? And to me, this is things like being solid on defense, and that's as simple as just stopping someone else's chair and making the right read of when to switch and when to run a triple switch and when to cover. And obviously if you don't understand basketball, you won't understand those terms, but that's fine. And then to cross in transition and try and get a man out and hold my picks well and make the right read and drive to the lane at the right time and see what the right pass is and then trust my shot when it comes to making the finish, right? And And actually what I realized is when I can just say to myself to focus on those fundamentals, then scoring or the outcome of the game or the outcome of my personal performance just takes care of itself, which is quite a nice touch. It means that you can get the thing you want, the thing that you ultimately want, right, which is perform well, win the game, without any significant degree of psychological unrest, like tightening your grip upon how well you shoot or all that kind of, I don't know, stress and pressure that can be added when you think about the game in that way. And then I was like, okay, well, this principle of focusing on the fundamentals, can we apply that actually to the whole rest of our life? Specifically, I thought about it in terms of mental health. And maybe this is just a rewording of the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, that suggests that 80% of the outcomes in life you want are driven by 20% of the key behaviors. And that 20% is the fundamental things you should do to get the 80% of the outcome that you want, right? Maybe it's the same thing, I don't know, but I like it. So in sport, as I said, I listed the kind of things that I mean, but then I think about, okay, mental health, what is the fundamental things to focus on and think about and act on to maintain good mental health? Well, I think you have to avoid doing the things that you hate doing as much as physically possible. You know, the things that you just wish you wouldn't do, the things that when you do them, you resent yourself afterwards. Which kind of links to a point I'll say at the end. But another thing is you should try and keep a semi-regular sleep schedule and not eat shit food. You know what I mean? Eat food that nourishes you most of the time. I mean, obviously we're going to have our cheat days. Look at the fucking gruesome like dinner I had last night. But the majority of the time you eat to nourish yourself. And maintaining healthy social bonds. I mean, that's a massive one. And actually being able, and this is links to the first point I said about not doing what you hate, have the ability to maintain and keep hold of your attention so it doesn't get gripped by the things that don't matter. And so you can focus your life and pay attention to things that actually do matter to you. That's, you know, maybe your career or just like the media you consume, the music you listen to, all that shit, that adds up. You know, that's in subtle ways, more ways than we consciously assume. That kind of stuff does sort of, it infects the way that we think and the way that we feel a lot of the time. And so those are the fundamentals of good mental health and good well-being. And I don't really like those terms because they sound quite wishy-washy and are thrown around a lot. But the way I think about it is if you dial in those 4 or 5 things, then you're 90% there to having a good life. And that doesn't mean you need to follow any book or any course or take any supplement or follow any guru's advice or whatever. There's no one specific way of living life that's most optimal, really. It's about dialing in the 20% of the things that lead to 80% of the outcomes, the Pareto principle behaviors and thought processes, getting those fundamentals dialed in. And just like in basketball, if you do the fundamentals, the score will take care of itself. In life, you try and dial in the fundamentals of mental health, and the good life, the well-being, the meaning that you derive from your experience will take care of itself, in theory. I don't know, something I've been playing around with in my own mind. And then the other thing was, these roads are beautiful, by the way. Very, very nice. A lot of trees and view. I think this is going to be a very, very pleasant drive. The other thing I've been thinking about, so this breakfast this morning, it's always a weird one, right? Where I go to a Premier Inn and have breakfast and just sort of sit on my own and look like some weird don. I mean, what other 20-year-olds are doing that, man? It's kind of crazy. But anyway, this morning was particularly interesting because it was so busy. Like 9:30 on a Sunday morning at some random Premier Inn. Many families with many sort of shrieking children and all that kind of stuff, man. And usually I get maybe a bit self-conscious and want to like just be looking at my phone or like watching a YouTube video or something, because that will distract me from the fact that I'm in a public place sat on my own and all that kind of stuff. But today I was like, I'm actually going to make a conscious effort to just sit and be with my environment. And I sort of acted as a flaneur in a way. And if you haven't heard that term, a flaneur is like an 18th century person who would wander through towns or cities with no real destination and enjoying that process of just noticing things in their environment. People watching. I mean, people watching is a term that we all probably are aware of and say, you know, that we enjoy it. It's interesting to observe other people. We're extremely social creatures, and we gain a lot of interest from just watching the behavior of others. And so that's what I did. And I enjoyed that. I remember when I went to Sardinia last summer, one morning. I was in a little town called Bosa on the west side of the island. And I just went to a coffee shop and had a croissant and a cappuccino and just observed the world around me. And it was really nice. And I kind of sunk back into that state of mind this morning. And it was interesting, man. One kind of sad but quite profound thing that I thought about, just to close this clip, because it's been 7.5 minutes, was there was this family like kind of across the room from me. And I noticed that the kids, there's like 5 kids or something, and they all had their own iPad, right? And the way that the lighting was in the room meant, as I looked across this family, the kids' faces were really lit up, but they were lit up by the screen of their iPad. And just one phrase came to me in my brain when I saw that, which was, instead of these kids' faces being lit up by the love and attention of their parents and their loved ones, instead they are lit up by the screen of the iPad, by the source of stimulation. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm judging parents and things, but it's just quite deep, isn't it, man? It's just quite deep. Are we doing something wrong in that? I don't know. I'm not a parent, but wow, these roads are mad. I'm gonna turn the camera around in a second to show you some of these views, man. Then I might put some sick tunes on. Wow, this is beautiful. So I made it to Buxton, and I'm going to find a coffee shop, do a bit of work. I think there's a Costa nearby. I'm going to go check the high street out. Coffee One. Ooh, just seen a sign. Could try that. I know that's one of Jacob's favourite chain stores for coffee. And then I'm going to explore like a park around here that has like a little pavilion garden-y centre / art centre. Just gonna go get philosophical in there. And then my hotel's an hour and a half away. I didn't realise it was that far away, so I'll probably get in the car again late afternoon maybe. Drive, get some dinner, do some recovery stuff in my hotel room. Like, I just wanna have a bath and sort my lower back out for camp tomorrow, and then go pick up my friend from the airport who's flying in from Germany today. So yeah, I might time lapse the work, I might not. See what happens, man. But I will show you the sick nature scenes when I go to that garden. So yeah, pretty happy. And parking's free, mate. Having a disabled badge is a cheat code. Anyways, in a bit. Found a pretty optimal bench. I think pause Adele. Guess I get a copyright strike. This is John Kelly's bench. Can you see that? Yeah. I kind of get sentimental when I pass by benches that have people's name on them. Like, that was a person that lived a whole life. Like, John lived what? 50... God, nearly, what was that, 70, 60 something, late 60s years of life. And now he's a name on a bench. But anyway, this is the great spot where I'm probably going to sit and eat my lunch and just people watch and take in natural scenes for a bit. Give you a quick rundown. Lake with loads of geese and ducks and trees. Little play park. Unreal meal deal scenes, mate. that was a beautiful park, you know. It was a bit cold, but apart from that, man, great scenes. Accessible toilets, which is ideal when you want to knock about somewhere for a little bit and you actually want to be hydrated, you know. Conservatory with like some exotic plants, and there was like a Baz there playing his trombone. Just pleasant scenes. I mean, how long was I here for? An hour and a half, 2 hours? Just no plan, man. Just wandering around, enjoying nature. And I think we need to do this stuff more, man. It's so good to just decompress when I've got a day off like this and just relax. And not think about real life stuff. Not think about uni or sport or like, you know, just the goals that I want to achieve and the stuff I need to be doing. Just being in the world, appreciating the environment around me, appreciating the beauty of that environment, and just noticing the beautiful aspects of people. You know, whether it's a mum helping her toddler learn to ride a little bike with stabilizers and seeing how happy this little kid was that he could begin to cycle, or whether it's an old couple walking together on a Sunday and maybe they've done this shit for the last 30 years and it's maybe their routine or something and they're still genuinely happy together. It's those small things in life. You got to hold on to those, you know, because we can get so bogged down with deadlines and schedules and performance analysis and academia and all this stuff that just seems to be layered on top of what reality really is. These games that we play as human beings, when really we are very advanced animals born to live in the natural environment. And it's really nice. So right, I realized that I need to kind of end this video. And what's funny is the last clip that I filmed for this was on the 16th of February, and it's now the 25th, 9 days ago. It's now the following Tuesday, and life has been moving so quickly in those 9 days. So many experiences, so much travel, a lot of basketball, a lot of thinking, and a real lack of studying and uni work and getting really cognitive, and you know, no podcasts, no real progress made towards any videos and things like that. But today, I think as a consequence of all this kind of summing up together and amalgamating, I just have been quite lethargic. I just woke up from like an hour nap that I took before I was going to head to Div 1 training this evening, and I woke up with this real deep stillness. The noise that's usually present in my mind was not so present. The views outside my window was so... There was something so sublime and beautiful about it. The sun coming through the blinds and creating this shadow on the wall, and it just... There was a peace to reality that I don't often get to encounter as much as I would like to in an ideal world. And it just made me think of how grateful I am for the things I get to do. And it's only in that still place that I return to those kind of deep, positive emotions. It's like when I return to living life through Joel the awareness, right? The conscious presence, the playful presence, the higher consciousness, whatever kind of spiritual word you want to use for it. When the desires of my ego and the demands of my biology and my primordial drives are no longer twisting and controlling my motivations and feelings, when I can just be at peace in this moment, that's when I come to some of the most beautiful realizations and thought patterns around the nature of reality. I'm so grateful for my life. And what's interesting is I spend so much mental energy thinking about how I can put reality right in the perspective of my ego or my drill sergeant or the ambitious part of my brain. You know, how I can tick off multiple tasks on my to-do list, how I can put myself in a great position in 10 years' time through what I do today, or how I can control a situation to avoid any fear or anxiety or pain or suffering. When reality doesn't require me to do any of that for it to be operating. You know, my reality is just the way it is. The reality that I can exist within at its core
is that stillness, that beauty, that transcendental peace that I encounter when I'm in the best state of consciousness. And all else that piles on top of that is just layers and layers of my ego and my self-consciousness and my material desire and all of that. And it's great now when I step into modes like this, when all that seems to just melt away, and I can be thankful for my existence. Did I record as much as I wanted from this vlog? No. Have I progressed towards making better videos as much as my drill sergeant would like? No. You know, am I at the point with my degree that I'd like to be by the end of February? No. But am I happy to be alive? Am I having some adventures? Am I having some cool experiences? Am I making some memories? Am I connecting with people on a deep level? Yes. And that's what life's about. So I'm going to go and have a piss because I need to. Then I'm going to go eat some porridge of some description. And then I'm going to go and play the game of wheelchair basketball that I love so deeply on a random Tuesday evening on this beautiful planet. And you're going to go and do whatever you're going to go and do after watching this. And we should smile at the fact we get to do the things we do. So I'll leave that there. And I'll see you again soon, hopefully. Take care.
Joel Clifton, yeah, please sub and comment and like. But on a serious note, the content is very good. It makes you think about yourself and your life differently.